Hey guys, welcome back to the Fitness Hutch. I'm Paul Hutchinson. You guys know me by now. If you don't know me, you haven't been here before, give a thumbs up to the video. Think about subscribing. Check out some of the other videos on the channel. There's some amazing content. I want to get straight into this video because I've got some really important stuff to say. So let's get at it. You will have seen the thumbnail. Why I may have to give up the carnivore diet. It's not a clickbaity video. It's a genuine video. It is very hard for me to say and very hard for me to talk about because this is something that I don't want to do. I don't want to have to give up this diet. It's been going fairly well. If you've watched the 1 week video, you'll know I've had ups and downs. And I did touch on the fact that I've had some health issues in my life. One of them being arthritis in my feet. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's a quick story. It's not a long story, but please do bear with me. So when I was young and stupid and I was a prison officer, I broke my foot playing football one lunchtime. We used to play five-a-side football in the gym. And I forced my boot back on, strapped it up tight, hobbled back to my wing where I was working, the segregation unit, and finished my shift. So it was a long shift. It was what I used to call an A shift, and I would finish, I think it was 9 o'clock at night. No, 10 o'clock at night, I think it was. And then I had an hour's drive home. I drove home, barely been able to use my left foot, trying to drive with one foot. Went to the hospital, but not because of my foot. I went to the hospital because that's where my wife was working at the time. And I picked her up, and I told her about my foot, and she said, well, how bad is it? And I said, well, I can't put any weight on it. I'm struggling to drive. She's like, right, we need to go to A&E right now. So 10 o'clock at night, A&E, X-rays. Turned out I broke my foot. They sent me home, said come back tomorrow, fracture clinic, blah blah blah. Did all that. They gave me some crutches. They didn't put it in a pot. They said it didn't need to be in a pot. Well, the break was in the wrong place. It's on my big toe on the knuckle. They didn't pot anything up. They just gave me some crutches. Didn't use the crutches. Had 2 weeks off work. Didn't bother recovering really. Just let it heal. It healed wrong. And ever since I've had really bad arthritis in that foot. I've got it in both feet because I've damaged the other one as well from kickboxing. But the worst one is my left foot. And so when I was kickboxing, when I was competing probably 5 years ago, it would keep locking up. And it was one of the reasons that I turned to being a vegan in the first place, was because I'd seen there was a lot of inflammatory chemicals in meats. Gave up meat, it completely cleared up. While I was plant-based, I had no issues, no pain, no swelling, no locking up. Since I transitioned back to being more of a meat eater and having dairy, I do still get pain, but not horrendous. I do get a bit of cramping, but I don't get the really bad locking up. Haven't had it for a long time until this week when I've had it twice in a week where my toe has frozen in place. And it's hard to explain, but it almost swells up instantly, like I've broke it, but just from walking. And the pain is excruciating, and it can take hours for it to subside. If Alan is watching this, the wanderings of Alan Kaz, Alan, I work with him. I was just walking through the office today, and I said, and he said, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's just a bit of arthritis in my foot." Well, that was the pain. That's what it was. And it's gone off where I can walk on it, but I've been and I've had a bath today, and I was just getting dry, and I look down and I can see the swelling. I can physically see the swelling in my toe that I haven't been able to see before. Now, this might just be a coincidence, but I'm now 5, 7, 8. I'm now 10 days into no carbs and no sugar and no vegetables and just meat, eggs, cheese and milk. That's all I've eaten for 10 days. And suddenly this excruciating arthritis and inflammation is back as worse as it's been for 5 years. So I've now got a real big decision to make. Do I carry on with this diet and see how it goes and give it a few more days? Or do I stop this diet right now? That's the decision I've got to make. That's the decision I'm not sure I'm ready to make today. But I just wanted to say that's where I'm at with this. That's why I might have to give up this diet. It's very hard for me to say because I don't want to. But we'll see how it goes. Look, we've got to. I always talk about attention and momentum and looking at the positives and the negatives. Regardless of what we do, the positive in this is I've given it a go. I've tried. I can now say I've tried this. It doesn't work for me. I'm not saying it shouldn't work for everyone. I will still try and be involved with some of this carnivore community because it's a fantastic community. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go because I'm getting a little bit. I get a little bit depressed with this. I get a little bit annoyed. I don't want to put any more attention to it. We can all still achieve our goals no matter what. We've just got to find new ways of doing it. It doesn't matter what we're doing. It doesn't matter how we get there, as long as we're choosing life.